very convenient for other kinds of problems. And this would be a situation where if I have a plate that's positively charged, and I have a plate that's negatively charged, when did I say that this equation was valid? Point charges or spheres. These ain't that. All right? So here we have big flat plates, charges distributed evenly. We're going to assume that these plates are essentially infinite in size. Does it make sense to you that this is not a possible direction for electric field? Tell me why.
Because well, it seems to be line up with
I mean,
negative.
give me something here that would imply that it would point off at an angle. Because this is infinitely large, so there's just as much charge on this side as there is on this side, so why would it prefer one side over another? It wouldn't, would it? So the only possible answer for field is horizontal. Does everybody understand that? All right. So what happens then, the field is exactly the same all the way across. If I'm doing here, is the field the same here as it is here?
No.
No. Because of the spherical thing, as I get further away, the total charge gets further from me. But the truth of the matter is, when you have infinite sheets, because the electric field isn't diverging, it's staying the same strength all the way across. So we find out, this is going to give me a little bit different kind of a thing where when I said the voltage was KQ over R, that's not going to work here because I don't have a sphere. When we have situations where the field is constant, then this is the more appropriate equation to find the electric field. It's the change in the potential over the distance that you're looking. So if I say, what's the electric field here, I just need to know what's delta V and how far is this. So delta V across this and delta X is how far did I move. That'll tell me what the field is. I can do it for the whole thing. I can do it for a small thing. It's going to be the same all the way across, no matter how big a piece I take. The easiest thing is to take this. So if I know the total distance is D, and D equals 10 centimeters, and I know that this voltage is 110, then what's the field? Well, the field is equal to delta V, which is 110 volts, all right? And delta X is 0.1 meters. All right? And then I can tell from that that it's 1,100 volts per meter. All right? Now, what direction is the field? Well, we see it from there. The voltage difference, is it positive or negative?
Positive.
All right? So how do you measure difference? So this is my V2 and this is my V1. So it's V2 minus V1 should give me the field. And I'm trying to think how to reason that out. I know what the answer is. My math is suddenly, it's got to be a positive field because it points to the right. We know that. Delta E is positive because we go with the field. All right, so we go with the field, so it's positive. All right, I just had to think that through. So when you move with the field, the voltage, no, that if it charges with the field, it decreases. We're not with the charges. All right, so if we move the field, delta V is positive. I was mixing two scenarios in my head, sorry. All right, so basically, we've got a problem which they ask this kind of a question. They give you delta V is 0.07 volts across the cell membrane, and they tell you that the cell membrane has a width of 8 times 10 to the minus 9 meters. So I'm telling you, they tell you the voltage, they tell you the thickness of the cell membrane, and they ask you to find what is the electric field across the membrane. Just use that equation. Just because across the cell membrane it's going to look like this, it's not going to look like this, right? Because microscopically, if I'm reading right down a cell membrane, it looks like two very long parallel pieces, all right? So you go through and you calculate this, and you get an answer for your electric field. But then they ask, hey, what would be the force on a sodium atom that was in the membrane itself? And why, by the way, why would they be asking this question about sodium atoms on cell membranes? No biology people in here? The sodium pump, right? All right, so that's the whole idea of how the sodium pump works, is you've got a potential difference across the cell wall, which makes the sodium or the potassium side, the potassium pump, the sodium pumps, they go across according to this push. All right, so they say, what's that force? Well, I found the electric field. How would I find the force on a sodium atom?
Sweet. Charge.
It's singly ionized.
Okay.
All right, I did leave out an important part. So we have a singly ionized sodium atom. And so what's the charge on that?
Positive.
It's going to be a positive 1.67 times 10 to minus, 1.6 times 10 to minus 19 coulombs, right? Because it's a proton charge, or electron charge, since it's positively ionized. But they're the same number. So all you do is you take your field, you multiply by Q, and you know Q because it's simply ionized. Yes?
But so the direction should be the direction of the field.
Because you've got a positive charge moves in the direction of field. So it'd be trying to push it across the membrane the way the field points. All right? Any question on that? Before I kind of step past? Yeah, sure.
Run by one more time through?
Sure. So yeah, no problem finding the electric field, right? Then what they said is, with that field that you get, which in their case, E was equal to 0.07. You're going to have different numbers in mind. Yeah, 0.7 volts. I couldn't remember where that. Over the cell wall, why don't I just grab my cell wall? Cell wall was 8 times 10 to minus 9 meters. My dad told me it's okay if people check their watches, but when they check to see if their watches are working, you're in trouble. All right, so from here we can find the field, right? Once I get that field, they say, what's the force on a sodium atom, and it's singly ionized. So we have this. The singly ionized tells me that basically what we're saying this equals QE, but Q is 1.6 times 10 to minus 19 coulombs because it's just the proton-electron charge. So you just take whatever field you got from this and multiply it by that Q to get the force. Everybody else? Good? Not good? You wish you were having a dental appointment? You're not really sure. You're not sure which is worse, this or having your teeth pulled, right? All right. This one, what if I tell you I actually had not ever seen it? There was 2 of these questions that I thought was kind of fun to think about, and I had not ever thought of them. So I made you deal with them. This particular case, if I have a conducting rod inside a large external field, all right, so this is a conducting rod inside an electric field that's pointing to the right. What's going to happen inside this conductor? This part I had done, so this is not tricky. This part you should be able to do.
The charges move.
The charges want to move, don't they? And which way do they move?
The direction of the field.
Be really more specific, please.
To the right.
What moves to the right?
Electrons.
No. I think I heard you say electrons. Am I deaf?
Right, yeah.
So electrons would move against field, right? Protons move with field.
Yeah, right.
Positives move with the field, negatives move against it. So the electrons would move, and guys, I need you to understand, I've said this a million times, but it's one of the biggest things. The electrons would go whoosh, over to the side, they go, do you understand the difference? Every electron in this goes, and it turns out there's so many bazillion electrons in there, they don't have to take a very, very big step for a whole lot of charge to show up on the opposite ends. All right? They don't zing across. Every electron feels the field, right? Every part of your body feels the gravitational field. You can't block it. No, I can't find something I want to draw. Yeah. See this big book? Is gravitational field coming through the table?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if I draw the book, you have no problem understanding it's going to fall because gravity has no problem going through things. And it's the same thing here. The field goes through all of this. Every single electron in that bar feels a pull to the right, I mean to the left, whatever, a pull to the left, and they all move until it cancels. And so when that happens, we do end up with a bunch of electrons here and a bunch of protons here, but I don't want you thinking that these electrons came from these protons. They didn't. All the electrons moved and left those behind. They'll keep moving until what? Until the field inside the rod is equal and opposite to the external, so that the net field inside the rod is zero because it's a conductor. Are you good? All right, so I have a magic laser beam that goes and cuts it in half right here. Is this side, first off, does this rod, before I do that, does this rod have a net charge? Meaning if I add all the charges, is there a net charge? No. Laser beam. Now, do the rods have net charge?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
because I have negative charges on here that would be balanced by those, and positive charges would be balanced by those, but they're not hooked together. So when that breaks, this is net negative charge, this is a net positive charge, and they will redistribute again to cancel, but there is a net charge on those two pieces. All right, so if instead this were a dielectric, they would all go cigar-shaped, right? And they would go cigar-shaped in such a way that the negative ends of the atom would be this way and the positive ends would be that way, right? The positives move with the field, the negatives again, but they don't actually separate, they just kind of cigar-shaped. So that's a very weak negative charge on this side and a very weak positive charge on this side. Now, I laser beam, cut it, is there a net charge on either of those pieces? No, because electrons never left their atoms. They just kind of got pulled to one edge. So when I cut, I can't cut atoms in half with a knife or a laser. If I could, I'd be way famous. All right. So I can't do that. So when I cut it, the atoms all stay on the respective sides, and they still stay polarized, but I don't get any net charge on either part. Does that make sense? Say no. Say yes. Smile. Say, oh, it's 2 o'clock. Please, go God. No. Yeah, so if I've got a something that's non-conductor and I put the field on it, all the atoms polarize, but they don't pull apart. So they get kind of cigar-shaped with a positive end and a negative end. All right, every atom does that. So that means that there's going to be kind of a little positive charge on, negative charge, whatever I said, on this side, and positive charge on that side, but it's not an actual motion of charge. So when I cut it in half, they all just stay polarized. There was never any net motion like there was here to actually have charges end up on this side unaccompanied by atoms. That's what conductors do. They allow electrons to move. All right? So they literally leave the atoms and go somewhere else. Dielectrics won't do that. Insulators won't let the electrons move unless you make a big enough thing to make them spark. All right, so that's the prize I can go for today. And on Friday, what we'll do is we'll spend more time on the homework. So if you're feeling panicky, remember I said there are only two assignments out of chapter 15, so I'll finish going over stuff on Friday.
You guys ready for the quiz?
And by the way, you want to draw the picture before you do any equations.
Yeah, so toward the right of it, so this is.
So the negative charge is on the left side.
Yeah.
All right.
So determine like at a point 4 centimeters to the left. So like here.
Correct. So just looking at what direction is the field from the negative charge on this location?
From the
No. Here's your negative charge. What way does the field go with the negative charge? Towards or what?
towards.
So everything's in one direction. So due to the negative charge, we're going to have the field towards it, right? And for the positive charge, right? And this distance is 4 centimeters?
Yeah.
All right? So that's what I know is that I have K cubed over R. We're in the field, right? So K cubed over R squared.